So my intentions were to write a blog about why tomorrow is a special day for me. But I just have so much to say that I thought I would just film a video instead. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, my name is Katie, and I am a nutritional therapist, and I blog over at naturallykatie.com. And that kind of leads me into why tomorrow is a super special day for me. Tomorrow, which is November 28th, 2016, will be 5 years since I was diagnosed with celiac disease. So what celiac disease is an autoimmune disease of the duodenum, where essentially, if you've heard of the buzzword gluten, if I ingest that, my body begins to attack itself and break itself down. That's the very simple layman's terms of it. So this time last year, when my 4th anniversary rolled around, I was like, man, I'd really like to do something special for my 5th anniversary. And I thought, maybe I'll do, my husband and I own a gym. I thought maybe I'll do a powerlifting competition. Maybe I'll run a 5K. Maybe I'll do some other extraordinary feat. And none of that just spoke to my heart. And so this past year has just been an absolute whirlwind and has just made me so incredibly thankful and grateful for a celiac diagnosis. So in the last 5 years, God has entirely transformed my life and used celiac to not only glorify Him and His kingdom, but just to bring me into myself and make me a better human and a better person, and has just entirely impacted the world around me. So 5 years ago, I was a sophomore in college at Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia, and I don't remember what I was studying at the time. I've changed majors. I did change majors a lot, but I ended up going with my passion, which was English literature, and that's what my bachelor's is in. But anyways, I was a sophomore at Marshall, and I was just feeling kind of icky. I had dropped about 15 pounds less than my normal healthy weight, which is what I am today. I was having migraines, my fingers were tingling, I could barely stay awake in class. I went from a straight A student to getting a C in biology. Things were just off and something wasn't right. So finally, my mom convinced me / forced me to go to the doctor, and I was telling the doctor all my symptoms. And the only time I'd ever heard of gluten was a guy in my speech class in my freshman year at Marshall. He had done an informative speech on gluten. That was the only thing I'd ever heard about it. So anyways, she was like, well, we'll test you for celiac disease. I only have a few patients who have it, so that's probably not it, but we'll go ahead and test just in case. So that was 2 days before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Day, I ended up on the couch. You know, I'd eaten everything normally. I had ended up on the couch, like, just felt like I couldn't breathe because my stomach was so bloated. My mom thought she was going to have to take me to the emergency room, but I just toughed it out. And 3 days after Thanksgiving, I finally got the call that my blood test had come back positive and that I needed to maintain a gluten-free lifestyle for the rest of my life. What? Like, what does that even mean? I don't understand what you're telling me. So I was actually, ironically, on my way to the cafeteria when I got the phone call. So I was like, well, shoot, what do I eat? So I ate a salad. I thought, I guess that's probably pretty safe. And then later that evening, I had some bananas in my room, and I thought, well, that'll be a safe snack. So the next morning, I got up all by myself and went to the Kroger down the road from the university, and there was like a small little section that said gluten-free. P.S. the wind is blowing, so I'm sorry if that interferes at all. But so there's a small little section that said gluten-free. I was like, well, I guess that's a good place to start. And so I got the worst gluten-free bread of my entire life. It was called rice loaf, and come to find out, it was the driest, most disgusting. It was just horrible. So anyways, I filled a cart with, I think I got some gluten-free cereal, gluten-free like chocolate bars, and the rice loaf, and some deli meat that said gluten-free on the back. So I thought I was safe. And that was my first experience. And so fast forward 5 years later, and God has just absolutely used this diagnosis to change my life for the absolute better. And I can't thank Him enough for it, because if I hadn't been diagnosed 5 years ago, there's there's no way I would probably be where I am today. So when I was first diagnosed, I had been working out, and just through that diagnosis, I started to learn more about nutrition, and I would just read all that I could, and I would just soak up everything that I could about nutrition and working out. Then come to find out, I had a job opportunity that next summer. Actually, I had two, and I had to decide between if I wanted to work at this makeup counter or at GNC. So I prayed about it, and I was like, well, maybe I'll meet my husband there. And I did, actually. I really did. So my husband, well, he was just Justin at the time. He came in, and we got to talking, and he was a personal trainer. So I learned more about exercise through him, and I just continued to soak up all this knowledge that I could on nutrition and supplements. So we ended up getting married soon after, and I graduated from Marshall with my English Lit degree. We got married in August, and I graduated in May. So just this, I could just feel this deeper yearning and calling in my heart, and I knew that celiacs had to serve some purpose in my life, greater than anything I ever knew. And so that was in May 2014 when I graduated. I got a post-college job at a law firm downtown, and my husband and I later, a few months after that, opened a gym in his hometown. So we had the gym, and people would always ask me for nutrition advice because what I was eating was a lot different than most others. But I wanted to know that I knew something to really teach these people. I knew all about gluten-free. I knew how I was eating, but I didn't know the science and how to explain that to someone else. So it was probably January of 2015, I discovered the Nutritional Therapy Association, and I fell in love. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a dream. This is such a dream. Like, I wish that I could do this one day. So I knew now wasn't the time. I was working at a law firm. Justin had just opened the gym. We were knee-deep in small business owners, and now there's a four-wheeler, so I'm sorry if you can hear that too, and the beagle was barking inside, so I really apologize for that. But where was I? Okay, so Justin had just opened the gym, and I was like, I know it's not time. I kept praying about it, and I just knew that, not that the law firm was a bad job, but I just knew that that's not where I needed to be. That's not where I was helping people, and that's not where I was fulfilling this calling and this passion and this life purpose that God had planned for me. So, hey Crow. Okay, I think, maybe he's, okay, maybe he's not. It's like he knows that I'm talking. All right, we're just going to go with it. So in May of 2015, I quit my job at the law firm to be with my husband full-time. Our gym was growing, so he needed some extra help. So August came along, and I just felt this intense, like, Katie, you need to do this. Like, this is what you need to do with your life. You need to go back to school to be a nutritional therapist. You need to do this. So I didn't know how I was going to do it. I was scared to tell Justin, even though I knew he would support me, and I told him. He was like, all right, we'll find a way for you to do it. So I posted on my Facebook page that I was going back to school if anyone wanted to help, da-da-da-da-da. So just so happens, my tuition was sponsored. My books were sponsored. I then was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to find $500 to pay for all these supplies that I need? I needed a stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff and a massage table and a supplement kit and all these things that I had no idea how I was going to afford. And as I'm like in the midst, this is a big wind gust, so I might just let it pass real quick. Just enjoy it. I love the wind as long as I'm not freezing cold, and then I do not like the wind. But other than that, I really like it. I find it peaceful. Do you find it peaceful? Alright, so as I'm freaking out over how am I going to pay for this, I got an email that I had won a t-shirt contest that I had entered. We got these t-shirts when we signed up for school that said, I believe in real food, and you took a picture of it and you entered this contest, and by golly, I won. So not only was that taken care of, then I sold clothes on Poshmark to help pay for my hotels, and my husband and I dog sat, and God just made all these ways for me to pay to go to this school. And when I would want to give up because it was so hard, I would think, you know what? I was put here for a purpose. This is my calling. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to help people. So, flashback to just about a month ago, not even a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I took my finals, and praise the Lord, I passed. I am a certified nutritional therapy practitioner, and now I can help people more quickly learn what it took me 5 years to learn. And I just think it's so beautiful that God could take such a diagnosis. There are far greater things and far, it's like the wind is out to get me right now. It's just so amazing to me and so encouraging to me that God can take this diagnosis of a chronic autoimmune disease and turn it into something so beautiful. 5 years ago, if I hadn't been sick and hadn't gone to the doctor and hadn't been diagnosed, I may have never been able to help people and impact people the way that I want to and the way that I wish to. So if you are in a hard time right now, maybe you just experienced a diagnosis, maybe there's just some kind of other not so happy things going on in your life, just stay strong and know that it is for a purpose. Sometimes that's not what you want to hear, and that's not what sounds the best and the greatest, and it just sounds kind of foo-foo, and that's what everyone says. It's for a greater and better purpose, but really it is. Like, God is going to use that in some way that you can never imagine. Ephesians 3:10 is one of my favorite verses of all time. It's the verse I think about with our gym. It's the verse that I think about with my nutritional therapy. And in short, it says God can do immeasurably more than you could ever dream or imagine. So your dreams are nothing in comparison to what He can do. So dream big, dream your best, and just know that no matter what, you can do it, and that this is a season and this is temporal, and that there's something greater and better and more everlasting than you could ever imagine. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope to make more videos in the future. I like to talk, and sometimes I have too much to say for a blog post, so that's how this video came about. I'm really bummed that my dog didn't make an appearance. Like, she's just sitting over there. I might have to show her. She's just sitting over there laying down, acting like nothing is happening. Like, okay, Mom, you're not doing anything important. But anyways, if you think that I can help you, just holler at me. My blog and / website is naturallykatie.com. I'm on Instagram at naturallykatientp, and I have a Facebook page under Naturally Katie. I post pictures of my dogs and recipes and pictures of food that I eat and eating pizza for breakfast, and there's also a horse. I'll show you that too. So thank you for watching. It means the world to me. Tune in for future ones. Subscribe to my channel, even though I just created it. And just know that good is in store. And hang in there. Thanks. Now the important part. Oh, goodness. Oh.